Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to School of Science. My name is Luke and this is the Everton Stadium update for the 1st of December 2024. Now as we go over the site today, I've tried to emphasise a little bit more of a focus around the east and the west stands, being that these are the ones that pretty much were the last to be getting finished. So we do have a very brief little zoom in here, so I actually pay a nice little bit of attention there over to the steps. Well, not the steps, the little seat there. So you can see that the seat itself has actually been done in a nice raw blue brick sort of design. So I actually do pay a little bit more attention to the finished article over here. So this one over here, if you have a little quick look here, it's a really nice little setup here, and you can see on both of them there's actually a nice little space there, presumably for the statue. I mean, myself, as of late, Everton haven't been doing all that amazing, have they? So us having a statue of a legend that's, you know, very familiar to the club and one that's going on right now, you'd have to probably look back to the 1980s for someone like that. So, I mean, I'll be looking at the likes of maybe Neville Southall or even Howard Kendall. Someone like that would be an absolutely iconic piece to have here. Now, we could go further back and talk about Dixie Dean, the Golden Vision, or even the Holy Trinity and say, oh, why wouldn't we do statues of them? Just bear in mind, these guys were way far back. So we want something that's kind of fresh in the minds of the fans who are around and with us today rather than the fans of yesteryear. And I mean, don't get me wrong, these were amazing players of their time, but I just feel like with this being a newer stadium, we should be looking more towards the modern players that we've got rather than the players of yesteryear and whatnot. But yeah, but regardless of that, looking over the fan plaza as a whole, it is looking really nice. And I did actually notice that they've been quite proactive with the naming and everything. So what they've done is they've actually named the away stands. And you can see this if you ever go past the stadium. If you look inside by where the walkway is for the north stand, you'll actually see some signage and everything. They've actually named the away stand, they've called that the refuse collection. If you go over to the site in person, you'll actually see it. And if you go onto my Twitter as well, I actually put it up there. I thought that was quite funny when I saw it at first. I'm sure this joke's probably going to make someone very unhappy. But you know what? It's my channel. I'll say what I want. But yeah, looking over the south stand at the moment, I'm just paying a particular attention over the Everton way, where that's going to be coming in the near future. The longer I go on about this, the more it is more than likely going to be that the Everton Way is a Everton project rather than a Lango Rourke project. I'm surprised that they're doing it in that sort of fashion. I would have thought this would be something that they could have done with Lango Rourke. But then again, with all the heavy machinery and everything like that, barreling up, well, not barreling up and down, constantly moving up and down the stadium as things are going on, especially with this south stand, it's probably for the best that Everton are going to be the ones doing it themselves, just for the fact that it could run the risk of damaging some of these plaques at some point if they were working on it. But yeah, looking over, well, actually, before I go over to the west stand, I want to just point something out very quick. On the south stand there, you can see where the cladding is on the bottom. So that facade there, well, the cladding / facade where it's meant to sort of make it look like it's going to be a continuation of the barrel cladding. Why have they not fixed that? That's been missing there now for a good couple of months now, so they should have had that done by now. They need to sort that out as soon as. I'm assuming it's something to do with stock or something along those lines, or they just haven't come around to it, or even electrical work. It could be anything, but they need to sort it out sooner rather than later. They've got about 30 days left before Everton technically get the keys, so let's get it finished, shall we? I mean, to be honest, you're pretty much 99.9% of the way there when it comes to the stadium now. Most of the stuff that's going on inside that we can't really see from the drone is mostly just like the final touch-up sort of stuff. So it's likes of paintwork, it's the likes of checking the electronics, making sure that they're working. It's checking all them sort of things. So once they've got pretty much the exterior completely finished, which it is pretty much there, like I said, 99.9% of the way there. So as you can see, you know, the likes of the deck on the west stand's pretty much done. The staircase is pretty much done. All the facade by the staircase is done. The facade on the stadium's done. The roof is done. Everything is pretty much near enough finished. So it is pretty much just internal works, and I would love to get myself inside there and get some photos and videos so I could actually show you guys what it's like on the inside. There's a lot of work on Twitter. Well, there's a lot of stuff on Twitter. So inside there, all the concession areas and everything like that, in the South Stand in particular, are massive. They are absolutely massive. So if anyone here has been in the Lower Gladys, where that's probably the widest one I can think of that I've been in recently. So the Lower Gladys area there, you're talking a decent width and everything. It's probably close to double that inside the new stadium, so you're not going to be fighting for space. But yeah, as we go over the North Stand, one thing I'd like to point out there, I've noticed there's a couple of blue squares here. I'm going to make a guess in the dark and say these are probably to do with the turnstiles. I'm assuming the way they've got it laid out. Now, in the previous video, you would have seen that the turnstile numbers were lit up like in a lovely, nice, bright blue. So, I'm assuming it's probably not the turnstiles. I'm curious what it is, because there are a couple of them as I was moving across. So, if anyone knows what that little blue square is, whether it's covering something, maybe it's a plaque commemorating someone, maybe it is a plaque commemorating Michael Jones. I'm not 100% certain, because you've got the one in the Fan Plaza there, the big... the tie-down. I don't know the actual proper name for it off the top of my head. But, yeah, they've got that lovely blue one commemorating Michael Jones in there. So I don't think it's going to be a placard or anything. I'm a little confused as to what it could be. If anyone knows it, like I said, put it in the comments. I do appreciate that. But, yeah, looking over the North Stand, though, that's pretty much near enough done and dusted. But it's peculiar how we've sort of gone around with the layouts and everything. So the South Stand... it's brick all the way down. The North Stand, it's got that strange light brown sort of textured grip tarmac, similar to how it is with the car park over on the West Stand. And then the West Stand, it's got decking and stairs. We seem to have 4 different styles for 4 different stands. I kid you not. If anyone wants to say something different and say, oh no, actually it's not like that, it's like this, put it in the comments below. I always appreciate the feedback. Also, while we're looking over the pitch is looking really nice. I know a few people have been saying, why isn't the grass showing too much? Just bear in mind, we're coming into winter right now. Seeding as well as germinating and all that. You're not really going to see too much during this winter period. Especially, I mean, if anyone here has a garden, you know for a fact that during the winter months, your grass pretty much stops growing. So... case in point, in this situation, I don't think you're going to be seeing too much until around March, April. And then you're going to see it absolutely rocket up. But yeah, an interesting one here. I'm looking at these right now. If I'm not mistaken, I think these are lights. So they could be actually forcing it to germinate quicker. Well, grow quicker, should I say. I think these are actually lights. I can't confirm it 100%, but they look like the lights that I've seen around Goodison. So they actually have like warm, natural lights that help grass grow. But yeah, but on top of that as well, you can see around the perimeter of the pitch, you got a nice little bit of astroturf there, so that's helping. So in the situations of, you know, like when players come off the pitch and they're doing throw-ins and everything, you've got that there to protect them and they're not trying to run around on concrete. But other than that, inside the stadium, it's looking very nice. And someone, well, I was watching one of Mr. Jones' videos, and someone actually did raise a comment saying it wasn't, those seats that have been taken out weren't just temporary for the season ticket viewpoints. Apparently they are going to be camera points, and it's only if the likes of Sky Sports, TNT, Amazon, whoever's filming on that night wants to use them. But quite frankly, I think that's a ridiculous idea in my personal opinion, because you're taking away, I'd probably say about 15 seats per point. So you've got 3 of them gone, so you've got 45 seats gone there. So that's 45 people who can't go to the game. I think what they should really be doing is like what they've got at the Emirates, what they've got at Anfield, what they've got at the Etihad, where you have the pulley system. But what do I know? I'm just a fan. But in any case, guys, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you watching. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care, up the fucking toffees, and peace.